everybody, and welcome to another episode of our Toilets to Titles NFL Review Preview episode. This is Joe. We're doing episode, we'll go by the name Joe Knows. We're doing episode, I think it's episode 17, basically, where we are going to recap Week 16 NFL games, and we're going to preview, or I'm going to preview my picks for the upcoming Week 17 games. I can't believe it's Week 17 already here in the NFL. This season is flying, but quite frankly, as a Giants fan, I'm like pissed off that we've got a 17th game. We've got 2 weeks left because for me this season couldn't end fast enough. And the fan base, my fellow Giants fans, Jesus, I can't even listen to them anymore. It's like it's Depression City out there. Let's check out the comments over here. Chris's videos. What's up? My sidekick Chris's videos is in the house, everyone. What's up, Chris? Hey man, how's it going, buddy? He's playing MLB, the show right now. All right, man. Cool beans, cool beans. Chris's videos. I'm here. I'm glad you're here, my friend. I'm sorry, first of all. I apologize to Chris and to all the other millions of my viewers out there that I'm starting the show so late tonight. Just been a busy, crazy day. I was actually hoping to take it easy this week with the holidays. I normally take this week off for a mental recharge. I usually save a bunch of vacation days for this time, and I usually take this week off between the holidays, but just too busy at work to do it. So I'm just kind of exhausted, just mentally. I was looking forward for the past 6 months to having this week off, and it just didn't happen. Also, I am going to be pulling double shift tonight. This show that I'm doing, obviously my show, or the show we're watching right now, and then after this, I'm going to be filling in for Nate on Dollars to Deuces. I'll get to that in a second. So usually it's Rich and Nate. Nate's been called into work. We're all super busy. We're all super busy. I'm not the only super busy guy or gal out there in the world right now. But Nate's been pulled into work, so I'm filling in for Nate with Rich on Dollars to Deuces. Looking forward to doing it. And anyway, I'm going to speed this show up because I can talk, and some may say that I talk too much. Not me. I think I talk the perfect amount. But I'm going to speed it up though, so we got to get through this episode. It started so late. Anyway, before we get into the content, let's do some bells and whistles here. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Give us that 5-star Apple review. If you're watching the show, it takes a fraction of a second just to hit that thumbs up. And if you got 30 seconds to spare, if you can go over to Apple and give a 5-star review, greatly appreciate it. Where you can find the show: Apple Podcast, YouTube, Podbean, uh, Spotify, and Facebook, where we have 2 pages. That's Toilets to Titles, and the second one is When a Family Breaks, which is our Facebook page dedicated to the trading of sports memorabilia. Very cool. Check it out. Patreon.com/toilets to titles. Go there. You can learn how you can further support our show. And we have our own website, toiletstotitles.com. It has all of our videos, articles, tons of fantasy and NFL football content. Check it out. We've got 14 or 15 members here at Toilets and Titles right now, including myself. Seems like we add a new person every other month. And so I'm losing track of how many people we have on our team. But anyway, we got like 10 people here in the States. We've got 4 guys down in Australia. We're always bringing something to the table, whether it's videos or articles, whether it's NFL content, fantasy content, even college content. Check it all out. I'm really proud of the website, and I'm really proud of what me and my colleagues bring to the table for Toilets and Titles every single week. I think it's great stuff. And following the show, like I said before, following the show tonight is Dollars to Deuces. It's our weekly betting advice program. It's NFL weekly betting advice for NFL and NCAA football games. It's on following the show with Rich and Nate. I'm filling in for Nate today. But we give our own advice, and but if you have any questions, send them through the chat. Every single question will be addressed. All right, so let's get into the content real quick. Let's check out the comments. Just gave up a run. Oh, Chris, don't worry, you hang in there, buddy. Everything will be good. But as you're doing that, you follow along, my friend. Sam Dobson asks, "Hey, have you heard the NFL prospect Ice Wolo? He's linked to New York and is a Chinese player. Have you heard the NFL prospect Ice Wolo? He's linked to Ice Wolo. He's linked to join New York and he's a Chinese player. No, I have not, Sam. I have not heard of that player. Okay. Anyway, I'm moving on, guys. I got to get through this real quick. Okay, so Titans defeated the 49ers 20-17. The 49ers this year, it's like you don't know what team's going to show up. They've been dealing a lot of their own injuries too. I mean, this is a team that their offense is predicated on the run game. I love their run game. I love Kyle Shanahan as a head coach. I love how he runs his offense. This is a team that's been dealing with injuries, especially in the run game, and they've been able to weather those injuries for the most part. But Elijah Mitchell, had a really good season for them. He was a rookie running back. They've got some other running backs that filled in as well. But 49ers have been up and down, but they're still in NFC playoff conversations. They're still a team that seriously has a serious chance to get like that seventh seed, excuse me. So 49ers are, they're doing pretty well. I expected more from them this season, but they are doing pretty well. They're still in the playoff conversation. They've had to weather a few storms with injuries, but they're still in it. However, they did lose to the Titans. I believe this game was in Tennessee, and I got to give my hat off to Tennessee. Tennessee's reminding me of the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Neither of those teams are having great years, but especially Pittsburgh, because I don't think Pittsburgh really had all that many injuries, to be honest with you, this year, like the Ravens. The Ravens had a lot of injuries, and that was another team predicated on the run game, and their running back core took a beating, and they have some other key injuries too, the Ravens, that is. But the Ravens and the Steelers are tough teams that, weather storms. They always keep themselves in the playoff hunt. And that's what you're seeing with Tennessee. Tennessee is another team that's very predicated on the running game. And Derrick Henry's probably, when he's healthy, he's probably the best running back in football, in my opinion. He's my favorite running back in the NFL right now. And when Derrick Henry was when he was healthy this season, the Titans they were rolling. They're having a really strong season. They lost Derrick Henry a few weeks ago. And I think there's still a chance that he may come back this year. There's still a chance he may come back, at least for the playoffs. There's a chance, I believe. Um, I don't know how likely, but there is a chance. They also lost A.J. Brown for a period of time, Julio Jones for a period of time, but the Titans are still in first place in their division. And if they win their upcoming game, they don't have it iced yet. It's not solidified yet that they're going to win the division. Basically, the Colts are having a great season. The Colts have to win out their next two games, and if they do, I think Tennessee's got to lose the last two games in order for the Colts to win the division because the Titans are up a game in the standings, and the Titans do have the tiebreaker with the Colts because they defeated the Colts twice this season. Um, but the Titans did get a much needed win here. They needed this badly, and AJ Brown had a great game. He came back. He had a great game, and if they can get Derrick Henry back in time for the playoffs, the Titans are as dangerous, I think, as any team in the AFC. As they're as good as any team in the AFC. I might even put them as my number one team in the AFC if Derrick Henry comes back, because that's how they were playing before he went down. Let's move on to the next game. The Packers defeated the Browns 24-22. Browns are not having a great season. I think they're a game under 500, but I got to give the Browns some credit here. The Browns have been staying pretty much in every single game. They've had some tough opponents. I think they beat the Steelers last week, if I recall correctly. They almost pulled off an upset victory here against the Packers, and the Packers are definitely better than the Browns. The Browns are hanging tough. I have to give them credit there. But the Packers are looking fantastic. Right now, the Packers are up there, I think, with the Buccaneers and the Cowboys as the top three teams in the NFL. Those are my top three teams. For me, it's still the Buccaneers, and I've got the Cowboys and the Packers just neck and neck. They're looking really good. They're two well balanced teams, two very dangerous teams. And I think, for Green Bay having Aaron Rodgers, who's, probably one of the top five, definitely top 10 quarterbacks of all time, is a huge difference maker. But Packers are looking strong. They're winning even these really tough matches here, like they had against the Browns. They held on against Cleveland, who, gave it a fight. And Packers are looking really great, man. They're, like I said, they're definitely one of the top three teams in my opinion right now. And I see I have some comments, guys. Whoever's in the comments, I'm going to get to you in a second. I just got to get through some of these scores. Colts defeated the Cardinals 22-16. I've been high on the Colts the entire season, and they're proving me right. It's almost like I'm a genius or something. But they've been, proving me right. I picked the Colts in this game. They won. The Cardinals are trending downwards at the end of the season, like they did last year. This is why I had the Cardinals never really ranked higher than number five in my top 10 ranking of teams. Ever since I started that top 10 ranking, like in week 6, I think it was, I've never really had the Cardinals higher than number five because they worried me in terms of lack of experience. A lot of their best players are young, especially their quarterback. Their head coach is a second year head coach, I believe, in the NFL. Or is he third year? Actually, third year, excuse me. But point being that Cardinals are a good team. They're set up for the future really, really, really well. And who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they go to the Super Bowl this year. But I think there's inexperience that's rearing its head right now. Obviously, but they also have a key injury to DeAndre Hopkins. That hurts a lot. That's gonna, they really need him back. But but that hurts them. But I just, I felt like the Buccaneers, the Packers, the Cowboys, and even the Rams, that you've got teams who have a lot of good veterans who've been in playoff battles, not just in the playoffs, but the hunt leading into the playoffs, trying to get into the playoffs. And there's a way of, you got to learn how to win in those situations, and it doesn't always happen immediately. So the Cardinals are, in terms of like teams that I think are better than they are right now. They're up against teams who've got, more experience in that regard. So, I am surprised that the Cardinals have had like what they've lost like four out of the last five games or something like that. I am a little surprised by that. But the Cardinals are still a very good team, but the Colts are hot. And the Colts are they're a really, really solid team. The only team that I've got better than them in the AFC right now in my mind is Kansas City. Kansas City, we'll get to them in a little while. They're chugging along. They found their footing. Kansas City got off to a really shaky start this year, finding ways to win, and they weathered their own storm earlier in the season. And the Chiefs are now, looking really good. But the Colts are right behind them. The Colts look really good. They've got Carson Wentz is looking great. Jonathan Taylor's looking great. They've got a good offensive line. They've got a wide receiver core that I think is good enough, especially with the magic that Carson Wentz is working right now. He's just a good quarterback. I was happy when he was traded out of the NFC East from Philadelphia. I'm a Giants fan myself because I thought that guy was good, and he was just getting the short end of the stick from his own front office. And just that the Eagles, the Eagles are just aged. That's all. They just aged, and they didn't replenish quick enough after winning the Super Bowl. And and their quarterback Carson Wentz at the time paid the price. So I thought him going to Indianapolis was a perfect match, a perfect fit, going to a team that was really good and that just needed a quarterback, and they got their quarterback. And he went to play for the right head coach for him, Frank Reich, who I believe was their OC in that Super Bowl a few years ago when Philadelphia went and they won and they beat the Patriots. Carson Wentz really thrived under Frank Reich. It's a match made in heaven. The Colts are looking really, really good. And the Colts are right now are as good as any team in the AFC. They're looking really good. As of right now, I think the two best teams, I'd love to see a matchup in the AFC Championship game of the Chiefs and the Colts. I think it would be a great matchup. Falcons defeated the Lions 20-16. Nothing really to talk much about this game. Falcons are having a much better season than most people, including myself, thought they would have. They've been competitive, the Falcons, and even against teams. Look, the Lions only have two wins, but Lions have been hanging around tough too. The Lions have never gave up this season. They've been playing tough. It seems like they're getting better. They won like two out of the last three games, I think. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, a wide receiver that I was very high on in the draft. He got drafted by the Lions. I forgot what round. It might have been, I forgot what round. Maybe it was the third round. I don't remember. They took Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's lighting it up right now. Amon-Ra St. Brown is lighting it up. When you're named after, a pharaoh, a pharaoh and a saint, you better do well. You better do well because your name indicates that you're meant for greatness. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, I guess not a pharaoh, but I guess Amun-Ra, I guess would be like an Egyptian god. We named after an Egyptian god and a Christian saint. You better do well. It's in your name. So, but anyway, Falcons defeated the Lions, a close game. Um, I think both teams are trending in the right direction. Man, I didn't expect the Falcons to be like, what are they, like a game under 500 right now, I think. I thought they'd maybe have like three games, at this point of the year, at the beginning of the season. I was wrong. Falcons are doing pretty well, um, and much more competitive than I ever thought they'd be. The Lions, listen, Lions are rebuilding basically from scratch, and I think they've got the right head coach. And, I think he's a head coach that wants to build a tough team. And, listen, I think the Lions are trending in the right direction. And that was a tough season, but they're going to get a really good. They're going to have really high draft picks this year in each round, and they make it count. The Lions can get off to a, they could really turn things around very quickly here. Okay, Bengals defeated the Ravens 41-21. I got this one wrong. I thought the Ravens were going to get revenge for getting their asses kicked by the Bengals early this year. I was wrong. The Bengals doubled down on the ass kicking. But listen, the Ravens have weathered a lot of injuries, and to get to the point where Bengals are a good team, and you get to the point where, it's next man up, and the next man up, and next man up. It gets to a point of, the attrition rate is just too much to overcome. And I thought the Ravens would win this game. Actually, I thought again they'd get revenge for their earlier loss, and also we're in playoff season, and the Ravens have been in this point before, and they're, in this team's history, they're in it every single year. They're always in the hunt for the playoffs. So I really thought that would count for something, and that the Bengals are a young team. Their best players are very young. The quarterback, the wide receiving core. These guys are like inexperienced, in this situation, and came out and they shut me up. They proved me wrong, and they kicked some ass. So hats off to the Bengals. I'm really, really happy for Cincinnati and Bengals fans because you guys deserve this. You had a lot of rough years, and even when you were good, like say like 7, 8, 10 years ago, the Marv Lewis days, you guys were a good team. You were just in a tough division with the Ravens and the Steelers. And you're always, quite frankly, always shooting yourself in the foot too. You guys always blew games at the wrong time, the Montez perfect effect, just stupid penalties, stuff like that at the wrong time, just dumb. And even when you had games in hand and that you should have won against the Steelers and the Ravens, you shoot yourselves in the foot. You got a good team with good young guys, good young character guys, and you deserve this, Bengals fans. I'm really happy for you. Okay, let me get to the comments real quick. Chris's videos. Let's see. All right, Sam. Sam asked, "What about the English prospect Phil McCracken?" Okay, I know I feel like I'm stepping into a trap there, Sam. Okay, Chris's videos. Phil McCracken. Who's your projection to win the Super Bowl this year? Chris, I'm going with Tampa Bay right now. I got to stick with Tampa Bay. The team they retained everyone, really all the key players from last year. They're solid, really good on both sides of the ball, especially in offense. But Tampa Bay's defense is very good too. And Jesus, they've got Tom Brady, you've got Gronkowski, Antonio Brown is back. I know they just lost Godwin, but listen, if Antonio Brown is back and he's Antonio Brown, and you got Evans and you got Gronkowski and Fournette, I believe Fournette is going to be back in time for the playoffs. I believe. If Fournette wasn't, it doesn't come back for the playoffs, I'd be worried. Because I don't like I don't like Jones at all. I don't like Ronald Jones III at all. I can't stand that. Ugh, he creeps me out. I did pick him up on one of my fantasy teams because I just wanted a backup running back. And listen, he plays on a really good team, but I do not like Ronald Jones at all. But the Buccaneers they're still a stacked team, and they've got Tom Brady. I have to have them as my Super Bowl favorite. I have to have them. Um, but I'll tell you, Tampa Bay is going to have to make it through, the Cowboys or the Packers or possibly both. They're going to have to beat at least one of those teams, and that's going to be a tough matchup. Um, About to play Madden 22. Good man, good man. Hey, let's honor John Madden. Thanks for bringing that up, Chris's videos. John Madden meant a lot for me. I started following, watching football in the early 1980s, and Madden and Summerall meant so much to me. They brought so much to a game. It's not an exaggeration at all. They made good games, great games, even better to watch because they were so, especially Madden, but Summerall as well. They brought so much life. They brought so many good statistics as well. John Madden was always breaking out great statistics. He wasn't just kind of like a sidekick to Summerall. He was, the guy broke was always, it was John Madden who was always bringing out really good, like advanced metric statistics. And this was back in the 1980s when I was a teenager growing up watching football. And they just brought such a great element to the game that just made it even more interesting. And God, they were so great to listen to. They really were. Um, no, I don't, Chris. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm not a Madden guy. I'm not talking about John Madden. I love John Madden, but I don't play Madden football. I do play video games. I like shooter games, like meaning like Halo, Call of Duty, like those type of games. I tried Madden like once or twice. I just couldn't get into it. I'm not really into sport. I like playing sports on the field. I'm not into playing sport games. I'm not into playing sport games on Xbox or whatever. Type of games I play are like Halo. As a matter of fact, I got Halo Infinite for Christmas, and like those are the type of games I like playing. I like playing campaign games like that. Those are my type of games. Jalen Hurts or Davis Mills? I gotta go Jalen Hurts because he's had an awesome. Chris, I'm glad you asked this question because I wanted to mention Davis Mills. I'd take Jalen Hurts because he's had a great fantasy season. Um, I want to give a hats. I want to tip my cap to Davis Mills, who's had a quietly a good year. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback prospect, but this is a guy who had everything going against him. I remember people laughing early this season when he became the starter. When I think who was it that went down? I forgot who this Texans starting quarterback was. Maybe it was Tyrod Taylor, if I recall correctly. He went down. Davis Mills took over. Everyone's like, "Oh, Davis Mills." He was like third round pick. He was a known name coming out of NCAA, but no one had high expectations for him. Texans have 4 wins under Davis Mills. I believe the Houston Texans last year had 4 wins with Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying Davis Mills is Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying that at all. But Houston was in a bad place last year. They gave up a lot of their talent, or they walked away from a lot of their talent. Um, it was a crap show last year. O'Brien's last year as head coach of the Texans. They only got 4 wins. The Texans have 4 wins. And Davis Mills is quietly having a respectable year. He's a rookie quarterback too. And so you have to give him props. I'm really happy for Davis Mills. Flying under the radar like this. He himself might not be the most supremely talented quarterback prospect. He's also not surrounded by a lot of talent either. So hats off to Davis Mills. I'm really happy for him. Rich Gonzalez says Jalen Hurts against the Eagles. Sign me up. Jalen Hurts against the Eagles. Sign me up. Jalen Hurts against the Eagles. Sign me up. Jalen Hurts plays. Rich, I don't get that one to be honest with you. Jalen Hurts against the Eagles. Sign me up. Mills should have a decent game, but like Hurts better. Yeah, I like Hurts better too. PS5, Frito Bandito 77. Let's see. So how do we connect together? Let's see. Rich. Oh, search my tag and send me invite. Oh, I'm sorry. So Rich and Chris are talking. They're doing Madden talk right now. I'll get out of the way. All right. But Chris, Rich, I was unsure of what you meant by Hurts against the Eagles. If you want to clarify that I was unsure of. You meant Washington. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts too. Listen, hats off to Davis Mills for the respectable year that he's having on the field. But when it comes to fantasy, Jalen Hurts all the way. The guy's been a fantastic fantasy performer. Fantastic. Hats off to Jalen Hurts. I really like that dude a lot. I really like him a lot. Okay, so we covered this game. Let me rotate through the stuff. Rams defeated the Vikings 30-23. Not a surprise. You know what? Hats off to the Rams. They're starting to take control of things here. They have a share of first place in their division right now with the Cardinals who are reeling. I think the Rams may officially be in first place actually with the tiebreaker ahead of the Cardinals. I believe both 10-5. But again, the Vikings, it's a close game. Every single game the Vikings have been in, win or loss, it's been a close game. Vikings, this is a close game. They're going up against a tough team that's very, very well rounded. And the Rams, not surprised by this result. Um, Bills defeated the Patriots 33-21. I called this one. I actually called the first game too. In their first matchup, I actually picked the Patriots over the Bills. I got that one right. I picked this one as well. And I think Rich did too. I think Rich picked Bills over the Patriots. Either Rich or Nate, but I think Rich picked the Bills over the Patriots in this game too. And I just had a feeling. I just had a feeling that listen, the Patriots are having a great season, and Mac Jones, we refer to him here at Toilets and Titles as Macaroni Jones. He's having a great year. He's probably Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's doing great, Mac Jones, but it kind of leaves me wanting more. And let me add a little more to that. He's a rookie quarterback, and he's doing great. And I don't think he's got the most talented wide receiving core around him. So there are his ceiling right now kind of worries me for this year. For this year, I'm talking about for this year with Mac Jones. I do think he needs better wide receivers. He's got a really good run game. They've got a good offensive line. He's got a great offensive coordinator, and they've got a good defense. He's got the best head coach in the history of the game. So he's got a lot going for him. But I just had a feeling at this stage of the season that the Bills were going to win, and that they are a better team. They're better than the Patriots. I think they've got more talent. And I think Bill Belichick is an incredible equalizer. Just like having Aaron Rodgers on your team is an incredible equalizer. But there's only so much you can do. I think the Bills are a more talented team. I think it's starting to show right now. I think Bills are going to take control. 2 weeks left. I don't know the rest of the schedules here, but uh, I felt for the past few weeks at the end of the season the Bills are going to take control of the AFC East, And I think that's going to happen now. They both are sharing first place in that division right now, but I think the Bills are going to take control. I don't think the Bills, and I never felt, even going back to the beginning of the year, that the Bills were as good as a lot of people thought. I think they're a good team, and I definitely think they're like one of the top 10 teams. But, I definitely had like, I always had like 6 or 7 teams ahead of the Bills. The lack of a running game really worries me. That's probably the main thing. And also, I'd like to see a better number two playing opposite of Stephon Diggs. I'm not talking about Beasley at the slot. I'm talking about a better number two outside wide receiver playing, opposite of Stephon Diggs. I'd like to see that for the Bills. I think to get a real running back next year and get a better number two, and I think the Buffalo Bills are ready to rock and roll. They have a pretty good defense, and that Bills have accumulated some good young defensive line talent over the past few years. And I think it's starting to show its head, including this last draft with Gregory Rousseau and I believe Carlos Basham as well, if I recall correctly. They took two guys that I liked a lot. And Rousseau is having a good year for the Bills. So they're putting together a really good defensive line over there in Buffalo. And it's young. It's young. So it's still getting better. Jets defeated the Jaguars 26 to 21. I called this game as well. I mean, not a surprise. And the Jaguars are having a bad year. Some rumors I saw today that Doug Peterson, former head coach of the Eagles, may be in line for this job, or at least he's interviewing for this job. I think that's a good pick. I think the guy got a lot of unnecessary heat over the past few years because of the Eagles' decline. I don't think that was all his fault. I think he's a competent head coach. And he won his Super Bowl a few years ago. What was it, like 2017? It wasn't all that long ago. Um, I just think like like Carson Wentz was dealing with deteriorating talent on the team. The team was getting older, and they just needed to replenish, and they weren't able to do it quick enough in order to save his job. But I think Doug Peterson actually is a good, competent head coach, and if he gets this job, I'm happy for him because I think he deserves it. Giants def wishful thinking, wishful thinking. Look at this. Oh my God, I'm changing this right now. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I deleted it by accident. All right, I deleted the banner by accident. I was gonna try to edit it. The Eagles defeated the Giants. I think the final score was 34 to 10. I had it there as in the tag that the Giants defeated the Eagles. I think 34 to 10. The Eagles defeated my Giants 34 to 10 at this point, and it's been like this for a while with the Giants, my Giants, it's the same story every week. And I've got Giants content creators that I listen to and read all the time. And, they're putting out stuff like, every week, like, Giants embarrassing loss again, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, man, what do you expect? I mean, it's going to be the same story next week and the week after that, too. There's no reinforcements coming on the way. There are no superheroes to show up and turn the season around or turn to give you any rays of hope. It is what it is. This offensive line is decimated. It was decimated with injuries to begin the year, and it couldn't afford it. It was already, an inexperienced line that they were hoping to build up. And in order to build them up, they had to stay healthy. And it's not just the offensive line, too. I mean, the offense has been a nightmare for a while now, a nightmare for a while. There's something structurally and fundamentally wrong with their offensive scheme, and it's not just the offensive line. And the fact that the starting quarterback is out as well, and you know, they've got backups. It's just an absolute mess. So I see Giants content creators out there, and I love them. I respect them, but it's kind of like the same material now, like every week, like hair on fire. I'm mad. I'm so disgusted with this team, this organization, this front office, blah, blah, blah. Guys, like I said with some of the other teams, you get to a point of attrition where you get all these injuries. There's no coming back from it. There's no coming back for it. And this team wasn't good enough anyway to afford these types of injuries. It wasn't like this was some like, top three talented team anyway. This is a team that you're hoping, would go to like maybe 9-8 this year if everyone stayed healthy, if everything broke right. So give me a break. But anyway, Eagles, hats off to you. Guys, you know what? Quite frankly, I didn't think you were going to have a good year this year. I thought you'd maybe have like 4 or 5 wins. Just because, you didn't have a good last year, and a lot of your best players from over the past 10 years have gotten older, and you needed to replenish that inventory. But hey, you guys having a good year. You're definitely in the hunt for that last playoff spot. And Jalen Hurts might not be a good quarterback overall, but the guy also does things that helps your team win. And quite frankly, I don't know if another quarterback would have done. for your team what Jalen Hurts is doing for your team this year and being able to keep you competitive in these games. I think Philadelphia, I don't think they have the best talent. I don't think they have the best talent on offense. And I think he's kind of like Jalen Hurts is kind of like a Lamar Jackson, maybe a poor man's Lamar Jackson, where his unique abilities are allowing are keeping the Eagles in things. And I don't think he's the best quarterback, but he's not like the best passer. But this guy, he's got elements to his game that that are dangerous, and I think he is a big reason why the Eagles have like they're like a game over 500, and it's still in the hunt for that last playoff spot. So hats off to Jalen Hurts for the season that he's having. To me, just from what I've seen, it sounds like he doesn't get all the respect as a quarterback. But man, I'll tell you, I think he's a big reason why it's obvious that the Eagles are, in the thick of things for the playoff hunt. I got 7 comments. I'll get to them in a little bit, guys. Buccaneers defeated the Panthers 32-6. Um, I'm sorry, did I do? Yeah, okay. So Buccaneers defeated the Panthers 32-6. Not a surprise. Um, bounce back game. Panthers were lined up for a bounce back game that the Buccaneers needed. I think the Buccaneers are going to be fine. They lost Godwin. Fournette is out, I think, for the rest of the regular season, but I think he is going to be back to the playoffs. I think that's all that matters. The Buccaneers, however, are now fighting. They no longer have the number one spot for the NFC playoff seeding. That's now the Packers. The Packers are 12-3. The Buccaneers and the Cowboys, I believe, are 11-4. So it's the Packers who have the number one seed in the NFC playoffs right now. But Buccaneers got the win here. I'm not going to go too much into that game. Texans defeated the Chargers 41-29. Hats off to the Texans and Davis Mills, man. And you know what, Chargers? Screw their head coach. The head coach is an idiot. And I forgot his name. Dude's an idiot. 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, but what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, when they should have beaten the Chiefs, they were outplaying the Chiefs on both sides of the ball. And that idiot head coach decided to forego like 5 field goals, I think it was, trying to get touchdowns or trying to get like, convert fourth downs into first down, like pretty deep into Chiefs territory, wound up costing them the game. And I think stuff like this, that loss to the Chiefs that should not have happened, and losing this crap game to the Texans, and hats off to the Texans. They could have just laid down. They didn't. Shit like this is what's going to keep the Chargers out of the playoffs, in my opinion. And quite frankly, I don't think they deserve to be in the playoffs, the Chargers. Really, they leave me wanting a lot more. Really upset with the Chargers. And this isn't Justin Herbert's a phenomenal freaking quarterback. I love that guy. I love that guy. But man, Chargers, you got too much talent to be a game over 500. Really too much talent. And I'm disappointed in them for, playing the way that they've been playing. This is crap. That is crap. You're better than that. You're not crap like my Giants. The Giants are crap. But you're playing like crap, and you're better than this. I'm really disappointed. They should put me in the Chargers, clubhouse right now, giving a speech or something. But they're better than this crap. Losing to the Texans 41-29. The hell out of here. Get off my screen. Get off my screen. Bears defeated the Seahawks 25-24. Damn it. As a Giants fan, we've got the Bears first round pick next year. And for the past few weeks, it's been looking like, okay, the Giants are going to have the fifth and sixth pick because the Giants have the fifth pick. The Bears are right behind them and stinking. And, we've got that pick. That would have been the sixth pick. And now the Giants are still losing, but now, the Bears won a game. Now I think maybe we've got like the eighth, like the eighth or ninth pick. So we've got like the fifth pick and the eighth or ninth pick. Ah, no, no more wins, Bears. No more wins. But anyway, I think they beat Seattle. I think it was in Seattle, I believe. I believe. And the final score was 25-24. Good for you, Bears. You got to win. I got to say something. Everyone craps on Nagy, and I don't think Nagy's a good head coach. I think he's been around long enough, and his track record hasn't been that good that it's time to move on from Nagy. But I'll tell you, the Bears haven't given up. They've had a lot of tough losses this year, too. They could have given up already at this point. Not that they should. No one should ever give up, but sometimes you see it, unfortunately. But they came in, they defeated Seattle 25-24. And I think Seattle, I'm not high on Seattle. I wasn't high on Seattle going into this year. To be honest with you, they're playing as well. They're playing as basically as bad as I thought they would be, to be honest with you. But the what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. But the Seahawks should have won this game. They are better than the Bears. They should have won that game, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I wonder if this is Pete Carroll's last year. I don't know. I like Pete Carroll. I think he's a good head coach, but Seahawks have made a lot of bad moves. A lot of bad moves. Very Giants-esque in terms of how they've not replenished lost talent. And they're shooting themselves in the foot like the Giants did with Eli. I know Eli, I love Eli Manning. I do think he's a Hall of Famer eventually. Not a first ballot. I think he's a second ballot Hall of Famer, but I think Eli is a Hall of Famer. But the guy was a gamer and he was a really good quarterback. And the second half of his career was basically wasted because because the front office didn't, they didn't restock the right talent and good talent, especially along the offensive line. You're seeing that with Seattle. You're seeing that with Russell Wilson. And even Russell Wilson, who's a magician himself, is two losing seasons in a row. I believe Seattle had a losing season last year, and they're having another losing season this year. And that's with Russell Wilson. So listen, you can have great quarterbacks, but if you're not surrounding them with consistent talent that's at least adequate on the offensive line and also the running game too. The running game has been nothing great all season long, and their defense is not good. There's only so much. It's the same thing with the Giants and Eli in the 20 teens. The teams that went to the Super Bowl for the Giants, obviously it wasn't just Eli. They had a great defense. They had a really good offensive line, really good running game, and they had wide receivers. They had it all. And and they didn't have that in the 20 teens. The Seahawks, what did they go to the Super Bowl with? Yeah, they had Russell Wilson. They also had an awesome defense. People talk about the Legion of Boom. It wasn't just the Legion of Boom. They had really good pass rushers too. And they had the beast mode, Marshawn Lynch, one of the best running backs that I've ever seen with my own two eyes. They had that man too. So they had a lot of talent around Russell Wilson, and not just on the offensive side of the ball. That's gone. That's gone. It's basically just Russell Wilson and his good wide receivers, but that's it. That's not enough. And you're seeing that even when you're a really, really great quarterback like Russell Wilson, you need more. You need more. Seahawks are paying the price, man. I'm sorry to see it. They're paying the price. Chiefs defeated the Steelers 36-10. The Chiefs are solidifying our things. They are the best team in the AFC. I'll put the Colts right up there with them, but the Chiefs, like the Buccaneers, this is a team that's coming off of a Super Bowl appearance. They didn't win, but they're coming off Super Bowl appearance. They've been like the top team in the AFC in the past few years, and they look shaky early this season. They are taking care of business now, and their defense has been showing up. That's the big difference, I think, is their defense has been showing up the Chiefs because it was horrible in the beginning of the year. Um, but it's looking really good. It's looking really solid now. So I still have like at least four. I still have a few NFC teams ahead of the Chiefs that I think are better, just all around talent. But the Chiefs are looking good, man, and I think they've got the number one seed in the AFC now, I believe. Raiders defeated the Broncos 17-13. I picked this game as well. Rich, if you're still in the comments, God bless you. The Raiders beat I knew this game would be close. I had a feeling it would be low scoring, and this is always really good. Raiders Broncos is one of the best divisional rivalries out there in the NFL. Those are always good games. Whether they're low scoring, high scoring, those are always good games. That's a really great. It's one of the best NFL rivalries, and the Raiders got the win this time against the Broncos 17-13. I'm just trying. I have a bunch of comments to go over. I'm going to guys in a little bit. I just got to get through these Week 16 scores. Cowboys defeated Washington 56-14. This is what I wanted to see from the Cowboys because they've been looking very mediocre for like the past 4 to 6 weeks. I wanted to see them getting ready for the playoffs. I wanted to see them take charge of a game, and they did. 56-14. Cowboys broke out all the elements that make them one of the top two or three teams in the NFL this year. Their quarterback play, their running game, not so much the running game this week, but still they've got that really good running game overall. Their wide receivers, their offensive line, and their defensive playmakers. A really stout defense the Cowboys have now. Uh, it all showed up in this game. And that's what you want to see, especially late in the season when you're making these playoff runs. Cowboys were definitely making the playoffs anyway, but it's kind of about seeding. You want to get that home field advantage as much as you can. Cowboys are in great shape, and they are now back into my number two ranking in my top 10 teams. Dolphins, guys, I was in a rush before. Dolphins defeated the Saints 20-3. I was trying to do this before and I accidentally deleted the tagline. Here, I'm gonna change it. I'm doing this a lot slower than I intended to. Sorry, Rich. I know we got to do dollars to deuces. I apologize. This is what happens when you get me talking, people. Dolphins defeated the Saints 20-3. God bless you, Dolphins. God bless you. You really salvaged your season. They are in the hunt for the last playoff spot in the AFC. They defeated the Saints 20-3. You never know what Saints team is going to show up, and it's the shitty one that showed up this week. They lost 20-3. I think I took the Saints both ways straight up and I think giving points, I think. So I got this game wrong. But anyway, yeah, it seems like whenever I say take the Saints lose. Whenever I say bet against the Saints win. Anyway, Dolphins, I'm really happy for the Dolphins. I would love to see the Dolphins get that number 7 playoff seed in the AFC. I'd love to see it. I really would. I'm glad to see the Dolphins are back in business. I've got a big place in my heart for Miami Dolphins from the 1980s with Dan Marino. I want to see the sexy back in Miami. I want to see the sexy back in Miami. I really do. And they're looking sexy again. They're looking sexy again. So, okay, week 17 picks with the spread and straight up. All right, now I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to get to those comments in a second, guys. I need to do share screen. Whew, I love that the comment section today is going bonkers. I love it. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that. Joe knows it's getting traction. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. What do we got over here? Okay, so Chris and Rich, we're talking Madden football before. That's cool. Sent him a friend request. Electrical. Sent. Cool. What do you think will be the number one pick next year in fantasy? Ooh, who do you think? Chris asks, who do I think will be the number one ranked pick next year in fantasy? Jeez, I guess it depends on what type of league. I mean, me myself, Chris, I normally play traditional leagues. Like I don't do IDP, which I think is, involves defensive players. And this year is only the first year that I played Superflex. I'm an old timer, man. I've always been playing standard leagues, so I never even played Superflex up until this year. Uh, um, so I guess it depends on the type of league you're talking about, but I'd have to think about that one. Geez, I guess off the top of my head, I mean, in a Superflex league, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Josh Allen. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. You got me there. I mean, I would definitely, if I think about it, I think I can come up with an obvious number one choice in my opinion. But off the top of my head, uh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, Jesus, it could be Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor had a beast of a season. I see Rich over there. Rich, you want to come in, or are you just trying to? You want to come in, or are you just getting ready for dollars to deuces? So, Chris, I normally play traditional leagues. Like I don't do IDP, which I Rich, my man.
What's going on, man?
What are you doing, buddy? I'm gonna speed up my show. I'm just
You
going through
knock yourself
Chris's
out, man.
videos. It's all good. I'm sorry. I got a really late start. Chris's
Don't worry
video
about it.
says the Bears are crap, crap, crap. Chris, you know what? I think they got themselves a good rookie quarterback for the future, though, and that's gonna make a huge difference. Even though that's what Chris is a Bears fan. Chris, I think you're going to do fine. I think you got Justin Fields is going to do fine for you guys. He was just a rookie, that's all. And I think the overall is, rookie year, I think he did fine. I think he was fine. He's going to be better next year. Get a new head coach. Let's see how things go. But I think you guys are in good positions. Um, let's see one more. When the Bears played on Thanksgiving Day, I was rooting for the Lions just to get Nagy fired. I hear you, man. You know what? Listen, I get that at the end of this year, at this point, I just want my Giants to lose there's no point in winning these games now. I would never want my team to throw games, or to like sit players to throw games or anything like that. But I have to admit, this point of the season and a season like this, that I do start wishing for my team just to, hey, put up a good game, but lose a good game, lose close. Best rivalries is Bears Packers crosstown. You know what, Chris? You could be right. When the Bears are good, that's a very good rivalry. Rich, are you able to play Madden tomorrow? Chris wants to challenge you in Madden big time.
Yeah, I was fixing this comment in the chat, but hey, Sundays and Mondays are the best for me. Tuesdays through Saturdays, man, I am driving to work and coming home from work from 7 a.m. till 9 o'clock at night. So it's like a 14-hour day for me. So use Wednesdays, I get on the show to do this. Besides that, spending time with my family during Tuesdays through Saturdays. So Sundays and Mondays, hit me up, Chris.
Cool beans. All right, I'm going to go through my top 10 list real quick. It's been updated. Again, these are my top 10 teams. Buccaneers, I've had it number one all season long, and I don't think that's going to be changing. They're 11-4. I moved the Cowboys up one spot to the number two, and I moved the Packers down one spot to number three. And I just last week I moved the Packers to number two because I didn't like what I was seeing from the Cowboys for the past like 6 weeks. The Cowboys showed me this past Sunday what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them again take control of a game that they should dominate, and they did it. So I put them back in the number two seed. I got the Packers at number three. I moved the Chiefs up one spot to number four. This is the first time all season long, I believe, that I've had an AFC team ranked in my top five. Now, I also have the Colts. I moved up a spot. I have them ranked as number five. So I've got two AFC teams in the top five now. I think it's the first time all season that I've had that. The Rams, I moved down two spots to number six, even though they're doing pretty well. I just like the other teams more than them. The Bills, I have still at number seven. They're 9-6. Bills leave me wanting more. I think they're a very good team, but they leave me wanting more. I don't think they're as well-rounded as the teams are ahead of them. The Cardinals, there's a lot of youth there, especially with a quarterback that worries me a little bit. I think Kyle Murray is a magician, but he worries me a little bit. And there's just other youthful aspects of this team that worry me. And I never really bought into that 10-0 start that they had. I think they're a very good team, but not that good. Patriots are nine. I have them at number nine. They're 9-6. I think the Patriots have a ways to go. I think they've got a ways to go. The Titans, I have back on the list at number 10. They're 10-5. They took the place of the Steelers. I got them at number 10. I want to keep them there. The Titans were doing so well throughout most of this year until Henry went down. They just got a big win, and they're in really good position to win the division. And if they can get Derrick Henry back for the playoffs, look out, look out. Okay, so my Week 16 results. I was 9-6 with the spread, and I was 11-5 straight up. Year to date, my results so far with the spread, I am 135, 101, and 3. Straight up, I'm 149 and 91. Let's see, these are my Week 17 picks. I'll go through them real quick. Falcons at the Bills. Bills giving 14.5 points. I'm taking the Bills giving the points. The Bills straight up. I might change that on Sunday. I could see the Falcons keeping it like within 13. Giants at the Bears. Bears are giving 6 points. I'm taking the Bears giving the points, and the Bears straight up. Chiefs at the Bengals. Chiefs are given 5 points. It's in Cincinnati. I'm taking the Bengals getting the points and the Chiefs straight up. Dolphins at the Titans. I'm taking the Titans who are, I'm sorry, Dolphins at the Titans. The Titans are giving 3.5 points. I'm taking the Dolphins getting the points and the Titans straight up. Raiders at the Colts. There's no spread in this game yet, according to ESPN. I get my spreads from ESPN. That's the only site I'm going off of to get spreads. I just keep it consistent that way. As of tonight, there was no spread. When I checked like an hour and a half ago, there was no spread on the Raiders at the Colts. For right now, for straight up, I'm taking the Colts. Jaguars at the Patriots. Patriots are giving 15.5 points. I'm taking the Patriots giving the points and the Patriots straight up. Buccaneers at the Jets. The Buccaneers are giving 13 points. I'm taking the Buccaneers giving the points and the Buccaneers straight up. Eagles at Washington. The Eagles are giving 3 points. I'm taking Washington getting the points and the Eagles straight up. Rams at Ravens. Rams are giving 3.5 points. I'm taking the Ravens getting the points and the Rams straight up. And again, that game is in Baltimore. Broncos at Chargers. The Chargers are giving 6.5 points. 6.5 points. The Chargers have disappointed me big time. I'm taking the Broncos getting the points. The game's in LA. I'm taking the Broncos getting those 6.5 points, and I'm taking the Chargers straight up to win a close game. Texans at the 49ers. 49ers are giving 12.5 points. As of right now, I'm taking the Texans getting the points and the 49ers straight up. On Sunday morning, I might change that to 49ers both ways, but as of right now, I'm splitting the difference. Texans getting the points, 49ers straight up. Cardinals at the Cowboys. Cowboys are giving 5.5 points. I'm taking the Cowboys giving the points and the Cowboys straight up. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals have a bounce back game this game. But
Mind if I comment on
I
that?
also think that. Oh yeah, go ahead, my friend. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, you're good, man. Hey, real quick. Last year, Cowboys played the Cardinals. Cowboys owned them. I mean, shut down Kyler Murray, and their defense is even better this year.
And they're missing DeAndre Hopkins
the Cowboys.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I also want to just give you a heads up. Colts are favored 6.5.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, why the hell did ESPN not have a spread? So Colts are favored 6.5 against the Raiders. Jonathan Taylor. You know what? I'd have to go with the Colts in that one both ways. Raiders, Raiders they have a good pass defense, but their rush defense is, average at best, and Jonathan Taylor's an absolute beast. And the
He is a
Colts
beast.
offense has been, yeah, and it's been so efficient this year. Their offense really, really good.
Yeah, but here I want to say one thing. Hey, don't rush, Joe. I got on the show just for you to relax, take your time and everything, because we got plenty of time. But I will say this. Last week, everybody was saying the Broncos running game was going to run all over the Raiders, and what happened? Not so
Yeah.
much. So I'm just throwing it out there. If Carson Wentz doesn't play,
I like that.
they're going to shut down. I don't say they're going to shut him down 100%, but they'll give it a fair play.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, Josh Jacobs, he's a good running back. He's not Jonathan Taylor. At least he's not Jonathan Taylor 2021. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
he's no look.
well,
I'll give you that. He's nowhere near Jonathan
yeah,
Taylor and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I think our defense is going to step up and show Taylor a little something.
yeah. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think Colts Raiders is definitely one of the matchups one of the best games this week. I think
It's a must win
that's a
for the
good game.
Raiders. They beat the Colts, man.
Yeah,
It just gives us that one step advantage over the Colts, man.
I know. Yeah, I hear you, man. And just
I know
one
Justin
game to
doesn't
go
want to
after
hear
that.
that.
Yeah, I know. He's in there. Colts have got to win out, and in order to win the division, the Colts have to win out, and they need the Titans to lose out, basically. Let's see. Let me just get through this real quick.
No rush,
Okay,
man. No
Panthers
rush.
at the Saints. No good. I didn't want to make it this long anyway. Panthers at the Saints. The Saints are given 7 points. I'm taking the Saints giving the points and the Saints straight up. Panthers have been really bad. Lions at the Seahawks. Seattle's giving 7 points. As of right now, I'm taking Seattle giving the points and Seattle straight up. I might change that a little bit Sunday morning. Vikings at the Packers. Packers are giving 6.5 points. I'm taking the Vikings getting the points and the Packers straight up. This game's in Green Bay. The Vikings have been in every single game, like I said earlier in the program, every single game, win or lose this year. They basically won or lost by less than a touchdown.
Weather
They're
forecast
getting
is
6.
looking real bad there, Joe. So I
Yeah,
mean, it favors the Packers even more. So
yeah. So we'll see. But the Vikings, I don't know. They've been putting up a good fight all season long. So in this game, I know it's in Green Bay though. It's in Green Bay, and they're gonna want to lay down the hammer on their rival, the Vikings. But as of right now, I'm taking the Vikings getting the points and the Packers straight up. Browns at the Steelers. I guess that's the Monday night game.
yep,
The Browns are giving 3 points, and I'm taking the Steelers getting the points and the Steelers straight up in this game. That might
good
change as
call.
well Sunday morning. So let's see. And that's it, guys. That's it. Let's see. Banners. I'm not going to go through the in-season schedule. I just want to wrap this up over here real quick. Here's the Twitter handles for me and all my colleagues, including Rich. We're up to like 15 team members over here. Follow us all. We're a great bunch of guys with NFL, NCAA, and fantasy football content, guys. And friendly reminder, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and give us that 5-star Apple review. All right, man. So I'm out of here for right now. I'll be back. I guess I'm going to log off, let you set up for dollars for
I'm all
deuces.
set up, man. I already got it all set up. Just get out of this one and log in there. If you want to go take a quick break and stuff like that. What do you say? About 5-10
Yeah,
minutes?
you know what? Yeah, cool. Give me 5 minutes. I want to go to Dunkin' Donuts, get myself an iced coffee, nice iced pumpkin spice, just like
Grab me
Coach.
one while you're at it.
Just like Coach, my cousin. I love pumpkin spice.
All right.
All right, man. So give me
See you
5
in a
minutes.
few.
I'll be right back. Peeps, everyone, Chris's videos and our millions of other viewers out there, have a good night. I'll see you in about 5 minutes.